Today we are gonna be making 3 of my favorite go-to high protein soup recipes that will, 1, help you get through the winter, and 2, will help you save time as they're all meal prep friendly. Plus, I'm gonna show you guys this new favorite crispy ingredient of mine that I have been putting on basically everything, soups included. You're gonna just literally love it. I basically put this shit on everything. Let's get cooking. This first soup recipe takes a really common vegan ingredient and uses it in a very uncommon way. We're shredding up some extra firm tofu, which kind of gives this soup like noodly vibes, but it makes it so much more high protein. This soup comes in at a whopping 42 grams of protein, you guys, which makes it super satisfying, super filling, and is great for anyone who works out a lot and wants to build muscle. Alrighty folks, this crispy tofu soup is going to texturally blow your mind, and that is no joke. We're taking a pretty basic soup recipe and transforming it into a really delicious, protein-packed powerhouse of a meal. So you're gonna need 2 blocks of extra firm tofu, and what we're going to start with is the first block we're going to shred on the large whole side of a box grater. We're gonna shred about 3/4 of one of those blocks, and then take all those shreds and transfer them to a large mixing bowl, and these are going to turn into our crispy tofu shreds. Oh yeah, you heard what I said. So then add some spices. We've got some smoked paprika, some chipotle powder, and then add a little bit of oil and salt. The oil is optional, but it does help to crisp them up a little bit in the air fryer. Pop those in the air fryer for 18 minutes and prepare the rest of your ingredients, first starting with shredding the remainder of your tofu. Then you can proceed to chopping up the rest of your vegetables. I used a can of diced tomatoes for this recipe. You could use tomato sauce, or you could use this little hack that I have here. I made a bit of a mess, but we're going to basically be blending up some diced tomatoes with a cup of water. This is gonna give us kind of like a tomato broth, more of a diluted tomato sauce, which is perfect for soup. So give that a blend either with an immersion blender or in a large blender. Now we're just gonna saute down the aromatics, being onion and garlic and a little bit of carrot. And we're going to saute that down until they're softened. Then we're gonna add in some spices. You've gotta have lots and lots of flavor. If things are sticking to your pot, you can always add a little bit of water or oil. I'm choosing to make this soup oil-free, which is why I am deglazing with water. Next, we're gonna add a cup of dry red lentils, and we're gonna stir that around and let them toast in the pan with the spices and the veggies for just a few moments to help them firm up, and this will help them retain their shape. Next, we're gonna add in some halved grape tomatoes plus a few chopped zucchinis. I added about a pound of zucchinis here, and then we're gonna add in that remaining shredded tofu. Once that's in, you can add pretty much the rest of our ingredients. We're gonna add those blended tomatoes plus about 4 cups of veggie broth. Give that all a good stir until everything's well combined, and then we're just gonna let that cook with the lid on for about 10 minutes or so. And then once that time is up, we're gonna add in some frozen green peas. Now, they can be right out of the freezer or slightly thawed. You only need to cook them for about 5 minutes or so, and that's it. That is how easy this soup is to make. We're using so many healthy, high protein, whole food ingredients that are just good for you. They're gonna make you feel nice. It's gonna warm you up from the inside out, and it's so flavorful, you guys. This soup is honestly just so darn delicious. Now, we're not done yet. We have those crispy tofu bites, whatever you want to call them. They are like the piece de resistance, you guys. They're like little crunchy croutons made with all the protein, and they're so flavorful, and they're just crunchy, and they add the best texture to this soup. I've just become a really textural soup eater these days, and this has totally blown my mind. Add a little bit of fresh chopped basil on top, and you have like an absolutely winning high protein soup that will keep you so full and satisfied on a cold, cold winter's day. You better let me know in a comment below if you try that crispy tofu. I want to know all the things that you're putting it on. Green pea soup is one of those creamy classic soups that makes for a great side dish. Not very filling, kind of on the light side, but did you know that if you add extra edamame beans, which are young green soybeans, to the mix, you can bulk this up to a 24 gram per serving soup that acts as a main meal, will keep you super full and satisfied? Did you know that? This is seriously like a genius pea soup hack that I have been using a lot these days, and it has been making my life a lot more high protein, a lot more filling, and it's only a 20-minute meal, so it takes hardly any time at all. Perfect for a quick weeknight dinner. This super green pea soup takes a good soup to great. Now, like I mentioned before, this is gonna be super high in protein and only uses a few ingredients that are actually really cheap. Frozen peas, frozen edamames, onions, garlic, all really inexpensive items. Now we're gonna start by chopping all of our aromatics up, being the onion, garlic, and fresh herbs. So now we're going to start by just sauteing those aromatics in a large stock pot. Let those simmer down for a few minutes, adding the parsley, dill, and basil about 2 minutes after adding the onion and the garlic. Next, add in the frozen peas and the frozen edamame, plus some red chili flakes to add just a little kick of heat, plus some veggie broth. And that's it, guys. Like, that's literally it. There's your recipe. Done. Then all you have to do is let that cook down for about 6 minutes or so, let it heat through, and then at about the 6-minute mark, you can add in some chopped kale. You could use chopped spinach or any other chopped green you like. It only needs a couple of minutes to pretty much just wilt down and make it blendable, which is what we're about to do next. Before we blend, make sure that you season everything to taste. So add some salt, add some pepper, give it a taste, make sure you like how the broth tastes. Now you can use an immersion blender like I'm doing here, or as a second option, you can ladle all the soup into a high-speed blender like a Vitamix and blend everything on high speed for about 60 seconds until you have a totally smooth and creamy pureed soup that's gonna look something like this. It is so creamy, you guys. And if you want, you can thicken it up ever so slightly by just letting it reduce in the pan with medium-low heat on for about 5 minutes. And there you have a totally epic and delicious pea soup. Now, honestly, it tastes just like any old pea soup, but it's so flavorful with the extra herbs that we've added, with the garlic, with the red chili flakes, and you can garnish it with a little bit of coconut milk, with some extra fresh dill, and I always love to put a little bit of fresh avocado on top of my pea soup, and it's so good. It's creamy, it's fresh, and gosh, it is just so full of flavor. Black bean chili is, in my opinion, one of the easiest one-pot meals that will give you the most protein-packed bang for your buck. Coming in at a whopping 36 grams of protein per serving, it is a super quick, easy, and delicious one-pot meal that is basically impossible to mess up, and it's perfect for beginner vegans. Introducing steamy vegan chili. In reality, what it actually is, it's a black bean and lentil chili, and it is so darn delicious. So, of course, we're gonna start by preparing all of our vegetables with a little boop. As per usual, we're gonna start by sauteing all of our aromatics done. In this case, we're gonna start with the onions and pickled jalapenos. These are gonna add like a zippy, pickly brightness to the chili, which is so yum. Now you can add the garlic and pretty much all the other ingredients. We are gonna add some red peppers. You can use any other color of bell pepper though if you want. Red peppers are just what I had on hand. And we're gonna add in some very finely chopped mushrooms. Next, we're gonna add in some canned black beans. I'm using about 3 cans worth here, but you can also cook your own black beans ahead of time and add them to this recipe. Then we're adding about a cup of red lentils, plus some chili powder, some cumin, and a very secret but not so secret ingredient, some cocoa powder. Cocoa powder actually really helps to just enhance the depth of flavors in the soup, and overall, you don't taste the cocoa powder, but the chili just ends up tasting better, trust me. Now you can add a large can of diced tomatoes plus some veggie broth, and that's it. Now just give everything a good stir to combine, make sure there's no clumps of lentils or spices, and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, I always love to serve up my chilies over a bed of rice because I find it actually makes your chili go a little farther, but you definitely can just serve it as a standalone meal without rice. Plus, it ends up being overall a higher protein meal when you don't serve it with rice and you have more chili. I love to top mine with a dollop of plant-based vegan sour cream and some avocado, and if I had cilantro, I totally would have sprinkled that on as well. And there you go, a delicious high protein steamy vegan chili. I'd definitely say that the recipe lives up to its name. Well, there you go, guys. 3 of my favorite high protein, healthy soup recipes that I have totally been enjoying a lot this winter. I hope you guys give them a try. Let me know in a comment down below which of these soups you're going to try first. It always makes me happy to know when you guys make my recipes. And if you guys like this video, please consider liking it and subscribe below. I am here to help you on your high protein, healthy, plant-based, and gluten-free food journey, and I just want to be here for you. So make sure you subscribe below. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye!